Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio from the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. With me today is an old friend, Damien Browning. He's the Executive Director for Steps to Recovery Homes. You've been on our show before, and you do a lot of great work in our community, and I appreciate you being here and talking with me again.
I appreciate it too.
Yeah. So, I was actually, when I was pulling in the parking lot here earlier, I was sitting thinking, geez, where was I a year ago today, right? You've had a heck of a year, as we all have, but probably a lot more challenging for some of the things that you've been dealing with, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's been rough. You know? It was rough. I mean, we're coming out of it, but it was pretty rough. You know.
What do you think some of the biggest challenges you had to deal with last year?
Well, okay, so I mean, the opposite of addiction is connection.
I was just reading that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, what that means kind of is like, addiction is made by like separation and isolation. So, I mean, there's other things with addiction. It's obsession and compulsion and stuff like that. But you know, we separate from other people because we don't think we can relate, or they can't relate, or we're not good enough, or we're better than, or whatever it is. So we separate, and then we're by ourselves. Right. And that's where we get in our mind. The obsession and compulsion comes in, and we. You know, we self-medicate to shut the mind up. So being told, you know, first of all, having a pandemic, you know, is like
just the fear in that alone.
Just the fear in that for any human, you know.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
the
but
stress
for somebody with an addiction issue, it's like, I know back in the day when I was using it, I would have taken it as a green card. Like, hey, I'm going to die anyways. Right. And I might as well. You know what I mean? You
know, that just blows me away that you say that, and it's true that you get so caught up in your addiction that. Why worry? You know, it is a green card to get going.
It'd be like, okay, that's the end of the world anyways.
Yeah, you know, and that's kind of, I think and we've heard a lot of stories about over the last year that a lot of people are relapsing and
well, then being told that you can't go anywhere, you can't be around people. Yeah. You know, so one of the things, like, you know, I know there's many roads to one end, I believe, you know, many ways to get recovery or to get healthy or one of the things with 12-step fellowships is that you get a support group. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. And you get to start hanging around people that, you know, you change your playmates, play things, and you know, you start hanging around people that want to be clean or trying to be a better person and all this stuff. So that kind of stopped. You know? Right. And then they're telling you know, all my guys in my house, you know, that I'm telling them they can't go anywhere. Right. You know, so then they're just all kind of like locked down. So it was tough, you know, because they're in their heads a lot. You know, being busy is a good thing. It is in early recovery for sure.
And I can tell you, just you know, in what are we, 6 months, 7 months into the year, you know, just that little bit of things changing a little bit back to normal has been instrumental in making me feel better. I can imagine, you know, if you're struggling with addiction right now, you know, you said, you know, connections is the opposite of addiction, right? And we're trying to get people to realize that you have to connect, you have to have these positive sources of reinforcement. And
there's been a big movement the last maybe 15 years, maybe more, I don't know, about people getting reconnected to what's real, you know. Yeah. Once as an individual that we feel like we have a purpose, or we feel like we're connected to, we really realize that we are connected to everything around us. Right. You know, then we can actually focus on like positive outer circle things and do things that make us want to live. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it kind of combats addiction. You know, when we really feel like we're connected. Yeah, you know. Because like growing up, I felt like I was an alien. I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I used, you know, and I did things to make me feel different. So it's kind of, but it was crazy. I mean, you know, but we had some ODs and relapses, and it's still happening. Had a guy, you know, take his life, and you know, there were some things. You know, and then the store closed down for 5.5 months, and I'm just blessed that we're still open. I mean, I know for me, looking around, like looking at how it affected people that had put their whole lives into a business and they lost their business. Yeah. You know what I mean? So with us, it was really good because we were able to, what we did was the store closed down, but we brought all of the clients, because they were living together, and we would bring them into the warehouse.
Right.
And we started refurbishing items, and we started having them paint items.
You got to think outside the box, huh?
Well, we did, you know, and we kept them busy. So it really helped them, you know. And then we were able to do some online sales by had safe practices. We would wipe everything down, wear gloves, wear masks, and meet people outside.
Right.
So there was some
distance and everything. You're right.
Because all we had to do really was, you know, it was cool because the unemployment took care of, you know, everybody that had to lay off, which was cool. Right. You know, and then all we had to do was really pay for the facilities, you know, keep the facilities at least there. So that was a struggle.
You're right.
You know, it was a struggle for people trying to find jobs or bringing in money.
Sure.
It was a struggle, but there were some people that donated. There was a couple places that donated, like, you know, Precision Laboratories was one of them. They gave us a big donation, and it kept our, you know, then the EIDL loan.
Right. Yeah.
Loaned us, it gave us that money that went right towards facilities to keep them open.
Right.
So we were really blessed. Yeah. And then going back into it, we got a PPP loan, and, you know, brought people back on really slow, and, you know, I'm just so grateful that we're still open. So it affirms to me, even though how hard my job can be, that it's, you know, it's supposed to be there.
You're doing,
you know, otherwise we would have totally closed down.
Right.
You know, so
you know, and I can understand. I was thinking that too. Is that, you know, yes, it's one thing when you're putting your whole life into a business and everything, but in your particular business, you have all these other lives that you're also trying to help. Yeah. And well, you know, and then you're trying to juggle, right? You know, so that's a whole other challenge.
Well, they all have their individual challenges too.
Right.
They're all in, you know, they all have different variables that go into their life. So it's like, it takes a village. Yeah. To really help a broken person become whole again. You know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well,
and I had some good staff that, you know, stayed involved.
Right.
And, I mean, you know, and we kept them busy, and it went really well.
It's a testament to the program. You know,
we had two guys get COVID. They were in the house, so we actually had a plan. We secluded them into the room, and we had somebody that would take care of them all the time, and it actually didn't spread through the house.
Right.
It was really kind of a trip, you know.
Yeah. It was good that you jump on it right away and take care of it.
Right.
Hey, we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll come back. We'll talk back. Yeah, talk some more. No, we just started. But our time is up. Right. We're going to take a quick break.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Again, I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio. With me again, Damien Browning with Steps to Recovery Homes. And as you were saying, you know, we could talk about this all day. You know, I've always been just very interested in what you do because I can relate. You know, I've been through addiction myself. So, but you were sharing with us earlier that, you know, taking all the right steps early on really kind of helped
we closed.
You.
Yeah, we closed before we were supposed to. We seen it coming, and our executive staff got together. We wanted to keep our staff safe. We wanted to keep our clients safe, so we closed before we had to.
Right.
You know, making them wear masks and social distance everywhere they went. I mean, like I was telling you, they just dropped a mask, and I'm still telling them, hey, be careful, social distance. You know, because it's still out there.
Yeah.
You know, one of our board members just had their husband passed away last week of COVID. You know, so it's, you know, I know that we're back to it and we're going because that's what society tells us. Let's just go. It's all about, you know, making money and being busy. But the other thing is, like, you know, we had to drop life coaching. You know, life coaching. We had life coaching every day, and you know, the people didn't feel comfortable coming in to do life coaching. So that's something we're slowly starting to back up. But that really makes a difference.
It's an important part of the program, right?
Well, all of it is. I mean, there's so many facets that come in. There's so many things that go into our program. I mean, you know, because we don't just house people. We do a lot more. You know, just like the job development, we're taking people through the job development. Nobody was hiring. You couldn't go get a job. You know? So
what do you do?
Or just keep them busy.
You know, the big word I think for 2020 was pivot, right? I mean, everybody had to kind of pivot and figure out another way to do it.
But it made us refocus on our clients again.
It did. Actually, it was a good thing.
You know, it made us refocus on our clients again, and it made us think outside the box. You know, and when we opened back up, we opened back up very limited hours, and it was a lot less overwhelming for my staff because my staff is we're underfunded, so my staff is very overwhelmed. So, you know, it was actually good. You know, to kind of go slow and open back up, and it was really cool. You know, we learned a lot from it.
How's the store holding up?
The store's, you know, the store's amazing. I don't know. It's just so much work. I mean, we work so hard to keep that store going, and it's, you know, I mean, if you go in there, it's just like, I mean, we redo the store probably 2 times a week. You know, we're always clean, and we try to
specials and doing things.
But it doesn't even pay for our staff, so it really doesn't. But it's a hub. And it's a good energy, and people love it.
And it's good training and experience.
Yeah, it's good for job skills. So we're doing a lot right now. We've been in some strategic planning, and we're trying to refocus. And what we're trying to do is we're looking for a building, you know, of our own. We did get, you know, October we got donated a 4-plex for the women. Which was amazing.
That's great. You know, tell us a little bit more about that, because that's expanding.
Well, and the women's program, and there was a USDA just came out with, they gave us a grant for improvements. Somebody donated the women's program. Raw Advocates disbanded. They had an unfortunate accident with the CEO, and they had to. So as a nonprofit, just like we are, if something happened, we would have to give it all of our assets to a like nonprofit. So they picked us. They picked like 5 different nonprofits, and we got it. And so we opened the women's program. But we're opening it. It's open. We got 4 women right now. We're going to be able to hold 4 more, probably another month or 2. And it's we focused more on health and wellness. So, you know, every morning they wake up, they drink shakes, they do some meditation, some walks. They're going to the gym. Just came from the gym right now with everybody. So we're really trying to refocus that. You know, so now we got a men's facility that we own. We got a women's facility that we own. So we're looking for a building to put all of our operations under. And what we want to do is make the store a little smaller. Keep the wear easier
maintained. And
but it's still a good place for job skills. But we don't want it to be our. Right now, it's been our crutch. Our crutch. You know, we need that money just to keep operating. We don't want it to be that. We want to focus more on the client. So we've been doing a lot of grants. We just got a grant from Northern Arizona Healthcare. I think they're Northern Arizona Health Foundation First now or something. I'm so sorry that I didn't get that one right. They're going to kill me.
No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, you're right.
They just changed their name. But they're great. They gave us a $200,000 grant to start an IOP. Which for the staffing, so that's for an IOP is intensive outpatient program. And what we'll be able to do if we start it right is we'll be able to bill access. You know, 97% of our people come in, they have nothing. So they're all pretty much access. We'll be able to bill, so we'll be able to for group therapy, and we're going to change the curriculum to where the first 3 months they don't have to worry about work. So they're going to therapy every day, and they're doing job development. Therapy, job development. And you know, it will maximize the success rate for them. We'll be able to bill insurance, and we'll be able to, any profit that comes in, because we're doing it under the nonprofit, will go right towards like getting new mattresses, staffing costs, being able to pay my staff. Right now, I mean, McDonald's pays more than I do. And you know, nobody can find workers. You know, so we're building that workforce. So, you know, we're in negotiations right now. We're going for a BGA second chance grant, which I don't know if we'll get, which will be 3 years.
What's BGA?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
It's a federal grant. It's a federal grant. What it is for people on incarceration to come out of incarceration and help put them to work. So it's a workforce development grant.
Like
we're already doing that anyways.
Kind of, right,
yeah,
right,
it's like a reentry grant.
right.
We are hopefully meeting soon with Terry Drew from NACOG and Donna Michaels. We've been in negotiations with Donna Michaels, and she wants to help fund our job development program because of the need here and what we're doing. She believes in. It's a core thing. So if we can get the job development funded, because I can't even hire a job development coordinator, so we're kind of, I have 4 executive staff, so we're all kind of just, we all have 2 or 3 jobs. You know, it used to be 5 to 10.
I know,
But now it's coming down, so things are working out. But when you have the job development, if we get the IOP, then they'll just go into therapy and they won't have to stress for the first 3 months.
Right.
And that income that comes in, we won't have to do so much begging and fundraising and worrying about the store. We'll keep the store as a hub, a place for job skills. But the money that comes in, we'll be able to get transitional homes, new mattresses.
Right.
You know, maybe medical. I haven't had medical for my employees or myself forever. You know, so we're really excited, but we have to do it right. It's a lot of work. So there's a lot going on in Steps to Recovery Homes right now, a lot of growth.
Right. That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a quick break.
Another break?
Another break. I tell you, it's not long, right? When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Again, I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio and my good friend Damien here. I know we could talk forever and we keep getting surprised by breaks, but yeah, you know, we were just kind of chatting here during the break a little bit about, you started this program 7 years ago?
Well, August will be 8 years ago.
Yeah.
My ex-wife now.
Right,
you know, we started with 3 credit cards.
Yeah.
And you know, and now we've grown so much.
Yeah. How many houses?
Well, we have 2. Well, we have 3. We have one for the women, one for the women, one for the men, and a transitional house.
Right.
And then we have the warehouse, the store, an office.
Right. It amazes me what that nonprofit, that organization, that entity all by itself is doing. Obviously, with your leadership and your board, right? They are the entity, right? They are the organization. Obviously, it's your vision and
I got some new board members, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, everything. That's why we're like this IOP. You know, you can make, you know, a lot of places start IOPs to make money, and
right.
I started under the nonprofit. We're going to start under another nonprofit, so all the funding will go back into the organization because this isn't about me.
It doesn't go to an individual.
I'm not going to be here forever. My hope is 5 more years and I can do something else.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But I got to get this thing to sustain itself because it's going to be in the Verde Valley forever.
Sure.
You know, because that's what a nonprofit is. I don't own any of it.
Right.
All the assets are
it's the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so everything that I've done is for the community.
Right. Exactly, and it takes
the people.
It takes volunteers. It takes people to step up and believe in the mission and your leadership and your vision of it. Right?
Hey, 8 years ago, there's no way I would have thought we were
right. It just blows my mind, right? How far you've come. It's amazing, and you've done some amazing things. So
we just got an ADOC grant.
Wow. Yeah.
We're actually going to be on the planning committee for the mobility coalition there, and they're going to give us 80%. They're going to get us a van for the men's house and a van for the women's house.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
That's, yeah. So you're like, a lot of your job is mostly looking up grants and things and funding.
I've been going a lot more in that direction, but like right now I don't have a warehouse manager, and we were going to hire one. We can't even find a worker.
Right.
You know, so I kind of stepped into that position. I do a lot still, but you know, I have an operations manager that she's operations. She oversees the store. She has the warehouse with me, and she's the women's house supervisor right now. Right. So, you know, my office manager, she does all the books and all that stuff, helps me with grants, and she's overseeing the job development. Right. So, I mean,
yeah. So we're
still underfunded and understaffed, but we're in a lot better place than we've ever been. You know, I mean, back in the day, Ann and I had taken out a couple of home equity lines of credit just to keep the homes open because we believed in what we were doing.
Right. You know. So you got your staff, are they people that have been through the program?
Yes.
So
98% of them. Right. One person isn't, but yeah. Well, actually 85 maybe. We got 2 people that have been through the program, but yeah.
That's amazing though. To me, that says a lot about the program as well, is that, you know, I mean, they're believing in it and living it, right?
Well, and setting an example.
Yeah,
you know, exactly. It's hard. It's easier when somebody knows exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've had challenges, I could say, with people's hearts are in the right place and they may want to help with addiction, but they've never experienced it. And to me, sometimes it's hard to reach a person that's in addiction when you've never experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found out another person OD'd yesterday. You know, it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. You know, people don't understand that don't have addiction issues. They just want you just to stop.
Yeah, isn't it just
stop
that
ruining
easy?
your life? You know,
but it's everything you said. It's all these facets. First, it's you know, it's about not feeling like you're fitting in, and then like you said, then you're isolating, and then your brain doesn't shut off, and so then you medicate to it.
Yeah,
it's a snowball, right?
Yeah,
and it's really hard to stop it from rolling.
It is, you know, and you know, it's classified as a disease for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me, every day I have to deal with the voices in my head that just, you know, want me to self-destruct. And that's why recovery is an ongoing process.
It's always, you know,
recovery for me is about making healthier decisions, and I need some help with that because my first thought isn't always the healthiest one. So
right. 26 years. I've got 26 years in November of this year. And I tell you what, the first 3 months of the pandemic, my mind was messing with me. I was at home by myself, isolated. It's like, no, you're not going to do that. You know, it's really, it's a lifelong process, and you really have to not want to go back, right? You got to keep moving forward and trying to. So tell me some of the positives that came out of this past year.
Well, you know, we learned, like I said, we learned a lot. You know, we learned a lot of how to be flexible and how to keep going. Right. There was a lot of growth and empowerment there. We're focusing more on the clients, which we've always focused on the clients, but sometimes it's hard when you're trying to just keep it open.
Right.
You know, we've gotten some more annual sponsors that have upped their sponsorships.
Right.
We got the Women's House donated. We've been able to focus more on grants. So you know, we've just got 2 grants from Arizona Community Foundation of Yavapai and one from Arizona Community Foundation of Sedona. We've gotten people that donated. You know, we had. I mean, you know, we got the. Well, I'm hoping to hear from the US. The USDA has been a huge. You know, advocate for us. I mean, they've helped us so much. You know, we got 2 improvement grants from them. You know, the last 2 years we got grants for our job development is the only reason. You know, we do still pay, you know, 60% of the job development, but that grant's running out. So we still need funding. I mean, but the PPP loan, you know, and all that helped us. So now we have a prudent reserve.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. So if you had a quick checklist of things that you would like the community to maybe help out with, what could they do for?
I need a building.
You need a building.
I need a capital campaign.
Anybody have a building out there?
Yeah, I need a building. I need at least a 12,000 to 15,000 square foot building because I want to put my IOP.
Yeah.
Right now I'm looking for a facility to start the IOP. We got to get it state licensed. That's another thing. You know, we've been, you know, we're still ASRA certified, NAR, and we have our state sober living license.
Yeah.
You know, so we're still operating. We get it. People inspect the homes. The homes are great. The homes are nice. We're looking for trainers, volunteers, people to do the Arizona tax credit.
Yeah.
come write grants. I mean, there's just so much that you could do. We're going to start our life coaching up again, so we're looking for life coaches.
Right.
You know, people that can help with stuff like that. Yeah. You know, meditation or yoga or financial stuff, or all the way to, you know, making priority lists.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but I mean, obviously funding's a big thing, and I hate to always bark about that, but I mean, you know.
But it's got to, you need it.
It's got, I mean.
Money talks.
You know, the next big venture for us is to get that building. Because if we get that building, because right now all of our money is going somewhere else, but if we get that building, we're paying enough to pay a mortgage.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that money will go into the organization, and we can focus more on the clients, and we can make a smaller store, keep it nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then make a warehouse for refurbishing, and hopefully get some people to train, come in and show us how to do woodwork, how to do upholstery, give some skills, online sales. Right. You know?
Yeah. Well,
you know, there's a lot. There's a
lot of good. There's
a lot going on. We are in a big growth spurt for Steps to Recovery Homes.
Right.
And I think it's because we just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Good positive growth.
Yeah, we got a lot of success stories. You know,
right.
there's people that we've lost, and there's people that relapsed, but there's a lot of people that have been through our program. We got, I think, over 180 now. That are successful.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
Right.
You know, and when I got out of incarceration, I thought, man, if I could just help one person.
Right.
You know, so it's, you know, having a purpose is a big thing.
It is.
You know, and most people with addiction issues are really good people. They just need to believe in themselves.
Right.
So that's what we help them do.
Yeah. Well, thank God you're doing it, Damien. I truly appreciate what you're doing in our community and helping the people in our community and the world. You know, I mean, from all over. Addiction's worldwide, and I wish more people could take it to heart and help our neighbors. So thank you for everything you're doing. We can do a whole other segment on success stories. We're going to work on your book and documentary.
Yeah, I need somebody to help me with a documentary and a book or a blog. I mean, you know, I always thought, hey, if somebody could just run around and YouTube me or you know, follow me around, it would be a great story. I mean, we could, you know, I always thought, man, a reality show, but a reality show would be weird because then everybody would come for the wrong reason.
I know,
But you can make a lot of money and help a lot of people. I could start, you know, 10 more houses or whatever.
There you go. All right, buddy. Well, thank you again, and until next time, we'll see you all a little bit later. Thank you.
Thank you.